Welcome back. Welcome back. This is behind the scenes discussion with the Super Six members operating Obsidian Power, a nonprofit that's specializing in building a stronger foundational structure in today's community. We have Anthony, we have Brenda, we have Irv, and of course me, Amanda.
Say hi, Amanda.
Hello. I say hello.
No.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend, getting ready for the work week, even though some people are still quarantined. So I would like to start off with a very unusual beginning for all of us, because sometimes we always kind of go in on what's going on around us in our community, but never what's really going on with us. So it could be a question per se, and you can elaborate on it if you want, but I want you guys to tell me two positive things about yourself that either people know or they don't know. Two positive things. If it's gonna be a stretch, because people are looking at me crazy, it could be one, and elaborate on it, and if you can.
All right, Irv, go ahead, bro.
I knew that was coming. I said he coming with me first. Positive thing about now. See, you could drink water. I couldn't drink water. See how y'all do that?
Who said that?
Positive. I want to get my water, and y'all was like, wait, hold on. How y'all gonna get water? Thirsty.
Water.
All right. Something positive about me. I like to drink water. I drink water. Let me see. And you would throw me under right there, just like that. Like,
You'll be all right. You'll survive.
Give me an example of what you mean, though. Like, when you say positive, something positive about myself. I don't even like talking about myself.
Well, maybe that's a good place to start. Like, why don't you like talking about yourself?
Because I feel like that's like kind of being boastful, Like,
there's a difference. There's a 24/7 me, what I do versus like you're humble about it, and like you have good qualities as a human being.
All right, I'll start with that then. I think I'm a pretty confident person, but I don't think a lot of people would know how confident I really am, because I try to be humble about it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I try to do, I try to put my best foot forward. That's okay. There we go. I'm a pretty positive person. Like, I don't think it's not too many things around me that I can't find a positive spin on it. Like, no matter what's going on, I always try to find like a positive spin on it. Like, anything. Somebody just died, I could find a positive spin on it. Like on the.
I be like, man, shut up! All this positivity.
I mean, I've had people call me Gandhi just cause, and I'm like, yo, that's not fair. It's just I don't know, something that I guess it was bred in me with my family. So that's one thing I guess I could say. And I like to get out. That's something about me. If y'all didn't know, I like to be moving. That's why I'm late. I was late this morning. I went running this morning.
Oh, okay.
I went running this morning. I did my laundry this morning. Ran a couple errands before we got here. I just hopped out the shower, and I was trying to make the meeting before 9 o'clock. So I always try to like get in as much stuff in a day that I can. So that's something else about me.
Okay.
I think it's pretty positive.
No, that is. So, that's discipline too.
Yeah.
I don't like doing it like that.
What about you? Oh, I'm a morning person, so I'm up at damn near 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock every day.
I can't do that.
I don't want to do it for work. I'd be like, you think they're gonna fire me today if I go in late again?
What about you, AB?
Me.
Yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus. Just say, I'm throwing you under the bus this time.
I would say probably number one is I'm very open-minded, like extremely open-minded. The depths of my open cannot be understood or open. What else? another thing about me that I think is positive is like I don't care about anything while simultaneously caring about everything. It's a weird place to be, but I pretty much stay even still. Like I'm a very like balanced person. Uh, it's weird to explain that dynamic, but you know, I'm never too far gone, but I'm never too close either. So yeah, those are two things. You think that's correct?
Yeah, I was gonna elaborate, but it was your time. I didn't want to jump on.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that that's true. I think an easy way for me to explain it, look like out, a person outwards looking in, is like you would give all of yourself to whatever situation or whatever's going on, but you never allow it to take like what makes you happy, your family. Like you never allow it to take your mental state into a whole another level. Like you're always very well balanced, and as soon as you feel like you're losing that, you know how to get yourself back. And it's never a one, tug of war between positive and negative. And, yeah, I'm giving myself to this situation, but I act like I don't care. It's a very, very good balance.
Yeah, it's like we're like I don't like people, but I want to help everybody. It's kind of that.
Yeah. He doesn't like people, but he don't mind hanging with humans. Humans is a race, like you have no choice. So it's like, all right, I'll be here because I have to.
Okay, Miss Amanda.
I am creative, as you can see right here. And I like being creative with children. I think it's just a knack that I have. And I haven't quite honed it yet, but it's there. And I like serving my community. One known fact about me is that I did 500 hours when I was younger of community service. And I felt good about that, and I'm proud of it. And not a lot of people know that because they never asked, or it's in the past history. And I'm looking forward to the future and stuff like that. Always doing that. That's it.
That's
Okay.
dope. That's real
All right,
dope.
cool.
Brenda, what about you?
My God,
You gonna just come over the question?
For real.
Cause I could do that. I'm the host.
You thought.
Respect me.
You thought.
Amanda, first of all, you hardly ever answer these questions. Don't do that.
I do. I'm the last one to answer the question.
All right, fine. Two positive things. I'm always smiling, and I love hats.
Yeah, you do. That is
really?
True. What?
That's your two.
Oh, I'm sorry. I look damn good in glasses.
Okay,
you can't do.
I will do that. Brenda has a special ability. I think it's a mutant power. To it sounds weird to attract children.
It does. It
Sounds creepy, but
all right.
But no, like I've seen this stuff, man. Kids draw to her. Like one example,
I've seen it.
We was in the grocery store, and we just walking, and whenever she see a baby, she acts completely weird, like weird, which I hated.
You're cute.
But the baby was maybe 2 years old, sitting in the back of the buggy, the whatever thing, and Brenda making Google faces with her, and the mom was like, "Oh, she don't really talk to strangers. She don't talk to people she don't know." That baby looked at Brenda was like, "Gapa Google." They like, what the heck? I think like whenever we come to a place, the kids don't have to know her. They all embraces it, loves it. All the kids just completely love her. My kids like her more than they like me.
Is that true?
It's true.
I can see that.
It's true.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Oh, damn happy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now, do you guys know for me, the whole motive of the practice was to just kind of get us used to looking into ourselves for that positivity and verbally expressing it. Because I would like to say that I know everyone on some type of personal level, and everyone here, I would say except Amanda, on a regular, don't have a problem pushing herself in any room, in any situation. She's like, look, listen, I don't care if you ain't gonna buy this smoke. This is what I do. This is how much it is. You gonna buy it. If you're not, go tell somebody else in the back to come talk to me. That's it. So when Irv was like, oh, you know, he's pretty, because I like to say Irv is an outgoing guy, but he doesn't mind staying in the shadows and just like not being seen as well. And that's kind of how Anthony is. So sometimes with a personality like that, they oftentimes won't boast on themselves when it's needed to, like, you know, put anyone in an awkward situation or to make themselves like, you know, the best person in the room. It's just, you have to know your strength, your weaknesses, and embrace both of those. Because it's easy for somebody to point out your weaknesses, but you have to know exactly what you're confident in and what you're good at as well.
So do you use this practice with your networking skills?
Do I use this practice with my networking?
Yeah, do you do that when you doing your little networking thing?
With myself?
Yo, man is a networking savant.
What?
You are a networking savant.
Big word.
Yes.
It's weird, right?
Yes.
I want to tell another story, right? So I went to this art event.
Oh no.
This art. It was my first show I ever did. First show. It was last year.
2 years.
2 years. All right. And I get there. I'm shy. I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, so weird. Brenda was like, so we walked in the show. I see you. She went around this whole place pitching me. This whole place.
Mm-hmm.
She pulled over people, these CEOs. Oh, you need to meet him. You need to meet him. I'm like, for me, I'm cowering behind a wall or something. Even scared to stand my art. And just all these people, everybody got a business card. It was just amazing. And every time we go to a show, that's what she do. I'm normally outside, like trying to get away from the situation. She in there, I can see her. She's like, oh, where is he? He's right here. She'll pitch me. So you're and then she got so many contacts that way. Like we have so many art contacts just based upon her networking skills and me just being a coward.
Oftentimes Anthony's like, oh yeah, you're really, really good at that. I don't see it as networking skills. I guess like whatever you're good at naturally, you can make it into something. But I like people. So, and when I surround myself around certain people and I believe or I see the potential in you, there is nothing that I won't do for you. And the fact that I like people and I can have a conversation with people and people sometimes gravitate to me, it's much more easier for me to talk on that topic that, you know, if we have that, you know, in common, it's just much easier for me to do that.
So the key to networking, you gotta like people, because if so, I'm screwed.
I don't know. To be honest, I've never looked up like, oh, best way to network or like key things. I don't know.
So we're gonna take you to more networking events and let you do your thing.
I feel like you about to use me, Amanda.
Drop her in place.
Yeah.
Go away.
Ding.
Drop me. Survivor skills. Thanks, babe. Thanks. So we're gonna move on to our first question. This I think would especially go towards the guys that have kids here, because I think this is a great indicator on your past as kids and what you will, project or what you won't project onto your kids. So the first question is, if you can change one thing about the way you were raised, what would it be and why? And how has that affect you in your parenting or just in your adult life?
If I had to change one thing, it would probably be yeah.
You had a good childhood, huh? You're lucky.
It would probably be like I don't know. Things to say, but I don't think they're accurate, and I don't want to say them. So, Irvin,
okay,
you go first.
We'll move on to Earth.
Yeah, I gotta think for a second.
So here I go going first again. I see.
Yes.
Look at you.
I was hoping I could have gave me a little insight. So, but all right, I'll run with this, and hopefully this is what you mean. For me, I guess I had both parents for a while, probably till about 11, and then my parents kind of separated. But I guess me and my dad weren't as close. Once the separation went on. So my thing is, he would always tell me what he was going to do and didn't do. So now with my parenting now, I make sure whenever I tell my kids something, I try to back up whatever I say, because I know those are things that bothered me growing up. Was always all right, I'm coming to pick you up, and I'd be sitting on the porch for hours, and he never showed up. So like with my kids, like whenever they say they want to do something, I'm usually like, all right, you ready? Let's go. And whenever I say I'm gonna do something, I like 9 times out of 10, I always try to make sure whatever I say, I do it with them, like for sure. Like I said, I know how it felt to always have somebody say they're gonna do it and never do it. So I make sure I don't give them that same feeling.
Has that affect you in your adulthood as well? Like, is that something that you pride on, keeping your word,
Oh, for sure,
even when it doesn't?
Yeah, it's usually detrimental to my home relationship because I have to be careful when I say things because usually if I say it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so it's like my wife is probably like, "So you be doing too much." And I'd be like, "Well, that's my word. I told him." And she's like, "Well, you everywhere." Like, which I get it. I got to calm down my words at times so that way I don't overdo it sometimes because
Right.
I do try to help out as many people as I can just because if somebody say, "Hey, can you help me?" If I'm available, then 9 times out of 10 I'm there. And if I'm not, I say I'm not. But then I try to figure out a way to make it work. So usually, if I say I'm gonna do something, you could pretty much bet your bottom dollar I'll be there to do it.
Anthony, you got something?
Yeah. It's not really about like the way I was raised because like my childhood wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible, and so I probably wouldn't change anything with that per se. But I'm gonna slightly change the question a little bit. One thing that I would have changed in my childhood that I participated in was that for the first 16 years of living, like I used to be other people. Like I was so good at being a chameleon. Like I would change my whole demeanor to fit in with a group of people. And I was so much aware of it that I would literally come home and I would literally do a gesture like this.
Oh, wow.
Literally, I would do that because
Wow.
I know what I'm doing. You know, like around certain people, I would act a certain way. I would do certain things. I would participate in certain things that I necessarily didn't care about, but I felt like I needed to blend in with people and be accepted by people. But when I was like 16, man, I literally kind of just really threw that away. But that really hurt me in my later part, like up into my 20s, because you're so doing it you still do it by default, you know. And it wasn't until I was about 21 or 22 where I really shredded that whole idea. But it took a lot of my youth away from me because I was doing like adult things and that I shouldn't have been doing, and it kind of sucked out my youth. So to my kids, I always promote them, be yourself no matter what that is. Like if you want to cry, cry. So it's just like my son, you know, he's 7, but you know, sometimes he get emotional, and a lot of guys are like, man, don't cry, suck it up. Like, nah, man, just, if that's how you feel, ride with it. I teach my daughter that. She's actually really good at that. Yeah, that'd be my answer. Yeah.
I have a question. Amanda, hold yours for a second. Do you think that being some type of level of a comedian in life, do you think that that's necessary, but you just have to know the balance and know when you're pushing yourself too much?
I think that being a chameleon has its place, but I don't have patience for it because I
You
know
don't.
where. But it's a useful tool. Don't get me wrong. Like you can use it as a tool when you need to on a minor level. But I think that's why I don't really hang with a lot of people because I don't want to deal with that. Like I even left childhood, like this one friend of mine. Like now we hang out. I've been known like years. We can't hang out because all you want to talk about is weed and vagina. And while those things are awesome, that is not something like that's on my, to talk about 24/7 all the time. So when we do try to hang out, everything's quiet, silent, or real surface talk was like, how was work? Work was good. That's good. Because we had nothing to talk about. But again, I refuse to like do those things anymore. So.
But my question is, when you say chameleon, though, is it being a chameleon or just being able to be comfortable in any environment? Like you just like, I don't say you chameleon wise, just like you fit in wherever you at.
Right. I
That's a
mean,
good
if
thing.
you when I say chameleon, more of like certain relationships that you have to have in order to get some type of knowledge or, you know, some type of information on something. If you're working at a job and that's not your primary goal or ambition, but you know, hey, I gotta make this money to get to where I want to go. In certain situations like that where it just doesn't fit with you, you're gonna have to tap into you're gonna have to make up a piece for yourself to insert it, just for you to, hey, you know, protect yourself, almost like invisible hat. Hey, all right, I know I have to go in here, I have to get this type of information, I have to learn what I have to learn, but this is not me. I have almost like I have to have tunnel vision on where I'm trying to go and what information I'm trying to get, but I know this is not me. So you have to know how to separate those.
Yeah, that's why I think like the way I was as a kid is problematic because in my adulthood, especially in the line of work I'm geared to, like it's like entrepreneurship and being an artist, you have to put yourself out there. Like you have to be around. Like I, I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna say it anyway. You know, like the whole art scene, like you have to be a certain kind of way. You have to, and I've seen that, and I really detest it. Like I don't like it, but you have to play a role sometimes to get yourself out there as an artist. And I think that's hurrying my art because I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I know the things to do. I just don't want to do it. And
You want to be an artist. You want to be an artist. You don't want to have to. You don't want to have to be out there networking and doing all that stuff. You just want to put your art out there and let your art talk to you.
No, he wanna create, drop it off, and leave.
Like my last art show, the one I did at the whatever Art Beat Miami. Art Beat, yeah, Art Beat Miami. Like I literally put my pieces up And I left, like, went outside, like, it's a certain thing, a certain way you have to be as an artist to get yourself out there. And that thing, I just don't want to do, but that's really art career, because you have to do those things. And me and Britt had long conversations about this. She really hates the way I view it, but I don't know. I have the stubbornness in me to not do it because I've done that early on in my life, and I hate it, and I just don't feel right doing things I don't want to do in order to get something. But I know that's how life is, so I gotta figure it out some kind of way. I don't know. So.
All right, Amanda, you've been patiently waiting.
Well, I didn't have anything to say because like I feel the same way. Like I didn't have that networking foundation growing up, but I always loved to talk what's on my mind a lot. So when I go to these networking events, I always feel anxiety when it comes to like when I speak because I
Really?
talk whatever is on my mind. And if something doesn't sit right with the current situation or the current trend or the current political climate with someone, then I miss my opportunity for future endeavor. Like if somebody is like a just for an example, if somebody was a Trump supporter and they like my art, and then I said, "Oh, I don't support Trump or what he stands for," then whatever opportunity that person had in the future in their mind of like painting parties or a future gallery, you lose that connection, that pipeline for a future event. And sometimes when you talk to a lot of people, you want to put on a mask and put up a front, which I honestly think is exhausting. Um, it takes a toll on your mental state when it comes to stuff like that, and because you know that you're here as an artist and you want to be seen, and these people have the means and the resources to push you further, but you have to put on this front in order to get what you want or get
Is it a
what you
is
both
it a front? Is it a front or just putting yourself out there though?
with certain people it is. If you have that genuine connection and that like they really like your pieces and what you're going for and what you represent, that there's always that person who keeps coming back. But if you have like somebody who just keeps walking by and you're like, oh, that's a cool painting, and walks away, then you didn't create any genuine connection.
I got you.
Okay.
Your turn.
I had time, huh?
I thought it was just towards like the two men who have children.
Yeah, it was mainly gay, but I was like, even it how it has affect you in your adult life as well. Why is my phone on 20% though? Jeez. I think I'm gonna go with being mentally vulnerable in situations where I knew that I didn't have to be. Even like growing up young, people have always said like, oh yeah, like you're the young old lady, because I always hung around like older people, men, women, always older people, and the conversation would be there, could talk to them, but when it came to certain situations, mainly like those people that was a figure or that was supposed to be like a role model, I wouldn't know how to separate that opinionated side or that like let me express myself. I wouldn't know how to separate it between the two. So then they'll always leave me like mentally scrambled. So I wasn't always as strong as I know I could be in certain situations. So I'll definitely change that about myself.